You step out onto a bustling city plaza, grab a coffee, and walk along what feels exactly like a normal ground-level street. Then you look over the edge and realize you are actually 25 stories up in the air. The city layering here is so dense that traditional urban planning goes out the window. In Chongqing, a daily commute means boarding a light rail train that slides directly through a tunnel carved right into a residential apartment tower. Life here moves at an aggressive baseline. Bullet trains cruise at 400 kilometers per hour between massive urban centers, fueling an economy projected to cross $20 trillion in GDP by 2026. Yet pull out your phone in the middle of this hyper-modern landscape, and you'll find a massive blind spot. The entire global digital ecosystem, Google, WhatsApp, Instagram, is completely blocked out.
How does a nation engineer an entirely isolated, self-contained digital reality for its citizens while simultaneously producing 1 out of every 3 manufactured objects used on Earth? The geographic math of the country presents an immediate problem. They have to feed and house 1.4 billion people on a landmass where roughly 10 to 12% of the territory is actually fit for farming. Agriculture has to be carved into steep inclines just to make use of the available earth. Instead of retreating from extreme geography, builders engineered directly into it. They force modern megacities into landscapes defined by intense verticality and deep valleys. In the Zhangjiajie National Forest, they constructed the Bailong Elevator. It is a massive high-speed lift system anchored right into the cliff face, treating a monolithic rock formation like the side of an office building. That brutalist approach to geography applies directly to the transport grid. To connect these scattered megacities, engineers rolled out the world's largest high-speed rail system, drawing straight lines over vast bodies of water and through mountain ranges. The peak of this physical velocity operates in Shanghai. The maglev train abandons traditional wheels entirely, floating on a magnetic field as it peaks at 430 kilometers per hour. This physical infrastructure serves a specific function. It is a highly optimized, high-volume circulatory system built to transport raw materials, millions of workers, and finished goods fast enough to sustain a global manufacturing monopoly. For decades, the global market viewed this massive labor force purely as a source for cheap, low-skill assembly. That era is largely over. The industrial base has executed a deliberate pivot toward robotics, advanced electronics, and automated cleanrooms. Top global tech firms, fashion houses, and auto brands now depend entirely on these high-tech production lines. The global supply chain is tethered to these factory floors. Raw components go in, and finished goods travel along dense shipping routes, radiating to every continent. If production inside this automated hub halts, inventory across the planet dries up. Because the world relies so heavily on their physical exports, the state had the leverage to do something entirely unique. They rejected Western digital infrastructure and locked down their own internet without suffering any economic penalties from the outside world. Rather than simply blocking external software, the state commissioned a proprietary digital ecosystem. These domestic platforms integrate daily tasks far more tightly than the fragmented apps found in Western markets. The architecture revolves around the super app. WeChat starts as a messaging tool, then branches out to absorb your wallet, shopping, and taxi bookings. Add platforms for video and microblogging, and the system closes the loop entirely, keeping citizens constantly engaged. It is a dual-engine strategy. They extract massive wealth from the global economy by shipping physical goods outward, while keeping their data, communication, and culture strictly locked inside. This instinct to barricade the nation from outside influence is deeply historical. Long before firewalls, imperial dynasties laid thousands of kilometers of stone across the mountains to physically isolate and protect their territory. The tools have simply evolved. Today, that doctrine of self-preservation is enforced by immense military scale, advanced missile systems, and a monitored domestic internet. The result is an incredibly polarized state. On one side, an inescapable manufacturing engine, building the world's physical products. On the other, an impenetrable digital fortress, completely sealed off from outside networks. It proves a stark geopolitical reality. A nation can build a hyper-modern, globally dominant economy without adopting Western systems, software, or social structures. China engineered a parallel operating system for human society. The rest of the world is plugged into it, but they can never truly log on.